Live from the CBS Broadcast Center in Los Angeles, this is CBS2 News at 5 p.m.
Out of jail and free, prosecutors dismissed the charge against the man arrested for a blast that killed his ex-girlfriend.
Well, federal prosecutors dropped the criminal charge against Stephen Beal.
He co-owned an Aliso Viejo day spa where a bomb exploded, killing one woman and injuring others.
CBS 2's Michelle Geely joins us live from Long Beach with details on why they dropped the charge. Michelle?
Well, what the feds are saying is that they dropped this charge without prejudice, which means it could be refiled at a later date. Now, this happened over the weekend when there were questions about the devices seized from Stephen Beal's home, which is behind me here, and whether by law they can be defined as destructive. So Stephen Beal was set free.
Mr. Beal, any comments?
All right, where are you?
The ex-boyfriend and business partner of the woman killed 2 weeks ago after a package exploded in her Aliso Viejo day spa has been released from jail. This is Stephen Beal leaving his Long Beach house this afternoon.
Is there anything you can tell us, sir?
Over the weekend, the feds dropped a criminal charge filed after officials say pipe bombs were found in Beal's home. The 59-year-old had been held without bail. There has not been an arrest in connection with the explosion that killed Ildiko Kronyak.
Yes, we are all really worried because we still don't know who did this. And it's all really, really frustrating for our family, and everybody's devastated, and we try to move on, and it's been really hard.
The crime scene at 11 Marablu is now clear of FBI and Orange County Sheriff's investigators. The door leading to Kronyak's spa is boarded up with plywood, as are the windows that were blown out in the blast. Flowers are leaning against the fence. The Sheriff's Department says the hunt for the killer continues. Quote, OCSD has not named a suspect in the homicide and will not until we have enough evidence to be confident that the person or persons who committed this heinous act will be held responsible for their actions. At Ildiko Kronyak's home today, her niece told me she didn't want to share much, but says her family has no idea why this happened.
We can't even imagine for what reason would someone do such thing. We have no idea why would someone do such thing.
Now, you'll recall that Stephen Beal was a model rocket enthusiast. Also, federal officials were here a couple of weeks ago seizing lots of materials, including 130 pounds of explosives. That, as well as evidence from that explosion in the spa, are being analyzed at the FBI lab in Virginia. Live in Long Beach. Back to you.
Okay, Michelle, thank you. ABC abruptly canceled its hit show Roseanne after the show star posted a racist tweet.
Roseanne's tweet sent shockwaves through Hollywood and lit up social media. She did apologize, but it wasn't enough to save her show. CBS 2's Lisa Siegel is live outside ABC studios right now with the reaction. Lisa?
Well, hi, you two. You know, Roseanne posted that tweet just before midnight, and less than 12 hours later, ABC had canceled the show.
There. Excuse me.
It's the show that brought in big ratings and Roseanne Barr back to TV. Now, after her racist post on Twitter, ABC has canceled Roseanne. The president of ABC Entertainment saying Roseanne's Twitter statement is abhorrent, repugnant, and inconsistent with our values, and we've decided to cancel her show. It was late Monday night when the comedian took aim at former Obama advisor Valerie Jarrett, saying Muslim Brotherhood and Planet of the Apes had a baby equals VJ. This morning, Barr tweeted an apology to Jarrett for making a bad joke about her politics and looks, also posting, I apologize, I am now leaving Twitter. But it was too little, too late. Public reaction was quick. Co-star and the talk co-host Sarah Gilbert tweeted before ABC's announcement, Roseanne's recent comments about Valerie Jarrett are abhorrent and do not reflect the beliefs of our cast and crew or anyone associated with our show. Consulting producer Wanda Sykes also pulled herself out before ABC pulled the plug, saying, I will not be returning to Roseanne on ABC. Michael Schneider, editor-at-large at Variety and executive editor at IndieWire, tells me no matter how successful the show, with pressure from all over, ABC had to do something.
ABC and Disney had to take action. This was going to haunt the show and also Disney for a long time to come. With boycotts, advertisers would pull out. This would have been a disaster, and it wouldn't have gone away.
He also says it's a sign of where we are and what companies are willing to deal with. No show, no person is that important.
There are consequences to what you say, and when you say something offensive and angers a portion of the audience, you are going to have blowback.
And late this afternoon on MSNBC, Valerie Jarrett spoke out.
I think we have to turn it into a teaching moment.
And reaction is coming in swift and fast. Along with her show being canceled, Roseanne has been dropped by her management. And just a bit ago, Tom Warner, one of the executive producers of Roseanne, said he completely supports ABC's decision to cancel the show. Back to you.
Lisa Siegel reporting live tonight. Well, attorneys for actor Morgan Freeman are now demanding CNN retract its report in which 8 women accused the Oscar-winning actor of sexual harassment. In a 10-page letter to CNN's president, the attorneys claim the story CNN ran defamed Freeman and inflicted serious injury to the actor's reputation and his career. Now, the letter asks for a retraction and a public apology and implies a lawsuit may follow. CNN is standing by its reporting and says it will not be intimidated from covering an important public issue.
We have some breaking news right now. Republican Governor Eric Greitens of Missouri is out. His last day is this Friday after announcing his resignation over an extramarital affair in which a former hairdresser claims he struck her in the face and taped and blindfolded her.
It's clear that for the forces that oppose us, there is no end in sight. I cannot allow those forces to continue to cause pain and difficulty to the people that I love.
Greitens was also accused of wrongfully obtaining a charity donor list to raise money for political purposes. The 44-year-old, once considered a rising star in the GOP, maintains he did nothing wrong.
The suspected Golden State Killer back in court today, and this time without his wheelchair. Joseph D'Angelo walked into a Sacramento courtroom today. And this is the first time we've seen him standing up. His other court appearances included a wheelchair that neighbors say was suspicious because they did not know of any physical limitations. He stood silent today. The judge is deciding whether to unseal search and arrest warrants in that case. His attorneys are now fighting that decision. They claim it could impact his right to a fair trial. The 72-year-old former cop is accused of a string of rapes and murders up and down the state dating back to the 1970s and early 1980s.
A convicted criminal went on a killing spree in Belgium, taking the lives of 2 police officers and an innocent bystander. Detectives in the city of Liège say Benjamin Herman was shouting, "God is great," when he stabbed the policewomen, stole their guns, and killed them. He then killed a 3rd person and took a janitor hostage at a nearby school. Herman died in a shootout. The country's been on high alert since ISIS suicide bombers killed 32 people at Brussels airport and the subway system 2 years ago.
A subtropical storm Alberto did this to a hotel in Panama City. Now, that storm spawned a mini vortex in the hotel pool you see there. Elsewhere, the first named system of hurricane season was deadly. Mike McCormick and Aaron Smeltzer, 2 journalists covering the storm in North Carolina, died last night when a tree fell on top of their SUV. What's left of Albert is now over northwest Alabama and Tennessee, threatening then heavy rain and flash flooding.
A shocking Harvard study reveals tonight Hurricane Maria likely killed more than 4,600 Puerto Ricans during the storm and the weeks that followed. And that's drastically up from the country's official death toll. After the storm, authorities said 64 people were killed. But Harvard researchers surveyed households on the battered island, and they say the death toll likely will exceed 5,000.
Well, now to politics. With Governor Jerry Brown's second term coming to an end, Democrats hope to keep that seat in their party for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, they brought out some major players to make sure of that. CBS2 political reporter Dave Bryan has the 4 major Democratic candidates vying for that top spot.
The race for governor has turned into a scam. Gavin Newsom's trying to elect a Republican who is endorsed by Trump.
The state auditor found Chung lost track of $31 billion. That's right, billion with a B.
The same Antonio Villaraigosa made millions for a pyramid scheme, fined for cheating low-income Latino workers.
The 4-way battle among the leading Democrats in the campaign for governor has turned into a political take-no-prisoners war. Former San Francisco Mayor Gavin Newsom is leading 3 other major Democrats in the race to the primary. He told me in a recent interview what issues are at the top of his agenda.
The number one word, the bubble word of this campaign is affordability. And the subtext of that is housing, and subtext of that as well as homelessness. The problem is acute everywhere you go. It's not unique to Los Angeles.
Former L.A. Mayor Antonio Villaraigosa is battling with 2 other major Democrats and 2 Republicans for second place in a primary elimination vote, where only the top 2 finishers get to run in the general election in November. He says his top priorities as governor would be fixing education, poverty, and the soaring cost of housing.
I'm running for governor because I believe that the next governor is going to have to focus on really raising good middle-class jobs, raising the standard of living, addressing the fact that too many people aren't making it right now. Well, we got to focus on education and workforce training.
State Treasurer John Chung is also locked into that battle for second place.
What is your issue in this race?
John Chung is the progressive who can balance a checkbook. You're not going to have good education if you're broke. You're not going to get access to health care if you're broke. You're not going to have world-class infrastructure to move our goods and our people if you're broke.
And former Superintendent of Public Instruction Delane Easton says her #1 issue is not a surprise.
It's really education that determines, whether we're going to have better quality of life, whether we're going to have the great inventions, the breakthroughs in science and in medicine. For me, education was the thing that changed my life forever.
In the closing days of the gubernatorial primary race, 3 Democrats each has millions of dollars to spend on TV ads and mailings. So you can expect to be seeing and hearing a lot from Antonio Villaraigosa, Gavin Newsom, and John Chung in the days remaining before those voters who actually vote in person at the polls cast their ballots. Dave Bryan, CBS 2 News.
And for more information on the upcoming elections, visit our website at cbsla.com.
Breaking news in the USC sexual misconduct scandal.
That's right, dozens of people have come forward saying that they are victims of disgraced gynecologist Dr. George Tyndall. At 5:30, we're live with the very latest.
And a baby killed by her own mother when mom runs over her husband as he was carrying the baby girl.
Also, another accident involving a Tesla in autopilot mode here in SoCal. So what exactly happened?
And talk about a near miss. Caught on camera, a sheriff's deputy darts out of the way as an out-of-control truck crashes into his patrol car.
Hey everybody, welcome to a Tuesday. Marine layer is back. It's going to get worse. Plus, we have some summer on the way. We'll show it to you coming up.